Hello, everyone. It's Jerry at the Fledge. Welcome to another episode of Every Damn Day. And today on the show, we've got our good friend Megan Church. How you doing, Megan?
I'm good. How are you, Jerry?
I am doing well. So I'm going to start out and just set the environment a little bit for anybody who might be visually impaired or just listening. I am Jerry. I've got brown hair. I've got brown eyes. I've got a headset on. I am wearing a T-shirt that says "Go Home Rednecks," and I got to give a shout out to Cam and Nikki. This is really your shirt. I've completely bootlegged it because of Megan empowered me in the last couple of days to do that. So, and I'm up in my studio office at the Fledge. So go ahead, Meg.
So I'm Megan Church, and I'm in my dining room. I have blonde hair and hazel eyes, and I'm wearing glasses, and I'm here to talk about myself and my business, and I'm just so excited to be here.
All right. So let's jump into that then. Let's tell us a little bit about you.
So I grew up in St. John's. I actually went to St. John's High School, Ovid LT High School, and then when I was 16, I was rebellious and I moved with a boy out to South Carolina. And so from there, I ended up coming back. You know, I really love Michigan, and it's great here. We got all four seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you like South Carolina though?
Oh, I really like South Carolina. Yeah. It's nice. They don't have that much snow though. So
right.
When they get snow, and it just makes me think about Texas right now and everything they're going through. But whenever we would get like just a little bit of snow, people would be driving crazy, trying to get like chains on their tires and not knowing what to do. So my heart goes out to Texas right now.
Yeah. My brother lives in South Carolina right now, and he says people can't drive at all down there.
It's so bad.
So you're also the second person in 3 days that went to Ovid LT High School at some point.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Will Green, who owns the Bangos food truck, and he's a comedian. He went to Ovid LT. So.
Okay.
All right. Ovid LT's in the house being represented.
Right. Yeah, right.
So, speaking of the house, the Lavender house, you want to start with that project and tell us about that?
So right now I am launching the Lavender house. We actually just put an offer in on a house yesterday. So fingers crossed everything goes through. We're just waiting right now. It's kind of killing me. But it's over right downtown, sort of. And I'm not going to give away the location because I don't want anyone to go out there and put another offer in on my house. But it's got a great yard, big porch out front. So we've got that space for Lavender, but we also are working on a community garden project, which I named the Urban Lavender Project. And that would be growing lavender in a community space where the community is invited to join in and enjoy the lavender as it grows all summer long. And I've been working with the food, not the food bank, the land bank to get a property. And there's some that I'm looking at like sort of on MLK, and then there's some over like Willow Knollwood area in the floodplain. So not sure yet. That would kind of develop some more issues for us to try and figure out. Lavender isn't a big fan of a lot of water and flooding. So we would just have to kind of try and learn how to prepare for that if we can.
So what's going to happen at the Lavender house? And then we'll talk about the Urban Lavender Farm?
Urban Lavender Project.
Project.
Right.
All right.
It might change. I don't. But so at the Lavender house, I'm still kind of conceptualizing the whole thing, but I would have probably several plants at my own house. But now that I've decided to sort of include the community into it, I might focus more energy into planting in the urban, in the community setting rather than having it at my house.
Okay.
Um, I don't want it to be something that I'm just doing to make money, like doing to make products to make money. Like I want people to feel invited to come and join me. And I would like to get some like meditation groups together and like maybe get some yoga. I'm not a yoga instructor, so I would definitely need to branch out for that and find somebody to maybe join me and come and use the space um, for people to come.
It seems like there's a lot of like freelance yoga instructors that bounce from one studio to another doing different, classes throughout the week.
Right.
Seems like that'd be easy to find.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
So,
hoping. I would want to teach yoga if I was a yoga instructor in a lavender farm. So
yeah. So what's going to happen at the project then? You're just going to have growing lavender, obviously.
lavender, probably more flowers and just kind of like a beautification project. Um, it would all grow, there, and then when you harvest it, you can make products out of it after that. But while it's growing, I would invite people to enjoy, the ambiance and the aromas and take advantage of that good energy.
Yeah. So, I'm going to ask you about the products you're going to make, but before we get there, let's have a lesson on lavender. Can you give us a quick
Yeah,
why is
definitely.
lavender important? It's pretty, it smells great.
Yeah. So see, and this is another thing that I'm learning about because I don't know exactly how far I can go into the medical benefits without it becoming a drug. And the
Yeah.
FDA has some big issues with aromatherapy and how you describe it. But lavender has a lot of benefits to it. It helps with insomnia. It definitely relieves the mood. It's actually really good for your hair and skin. It's an antioxidant. No, I'm sorry. It's a anti. Oh, it's like. Why can't I think of the word right now? It's like a disinfectant.
Oh, like a
So,
antibacterial or
yes,
okay.
antibacterial. So when you use that on your skin, it helps clear your pores and so I've actually got a beard oil that I made for my boyfriend who, with wearing the mask so much, it like messes with his beard and like,
Yeah.
so it helps like clear out those pores that get clogged. And it also helps your hair grow. So it's got a lot of really great characteristics to it and qualities. Um, I have a bath bomb, so that's a great way to, you know, encourage self-care. And who doesn't want to go home and take a nice warm bath with just lavender and relax? And
I always have used lavender for relaxing situations, right?
yeah,
So just sometimes even just putting a little under my nose and being able to smell it. I had a pouch in one of my masks and I had a lavender pouch
I
that
love
went in
that.
it.
Yeah,
That was pretty good. Yeah, maybe we should do, or you should do that as a project. Get a mask
definitely.
with lavender infused
Yeah,
or something.
I love that. Yeah, I
Oh,
use it a lot, especially like I'm doing this business and I do freelance like marketing and just kind of like virtual assisting. And sometimes I get really overwhelmed and I'll put some oil in my diffuser and just kind of like take a minute to, do some positive affirmations and
yeah.
bring it together.
Do you
Yeah.
ever digest it? Do you ever consume it?
So the plants that I have aren't digestible. So I do want to get them there. It's like a Spanish varietal that you can use for cooking. And I have to do a little bit more research into that.
Hmm.
But there are specific plants that you use for cooking. I have in the past used like syrups that I bought from the store, lavender flavored syrups for drinks and
Yeah.
um, things like that.
I feel like I've had a tea or something, or maybe I had some in a tea. I don't know. I like lavender though. And
Lavender tea is good, yes.
your maybe it's not your Facebook. Yeah, your Facebook page. It has the most beautiful picture of lavender there. I mean, the purple just pops.
Yeah, that's my lavender.
Yeah, it
My
looks.
dining room table.
You can almost smell it on Facebook. They need
Yeah,
smell-o-vision to come back or to
right.
come, not come back. We didn't have smell-o-vision. Um, so you mentioned the no, I want to stay on lavender for a second.
Okay. You
You,
want me to tell you about what I'm doing with it right now? So
hmm
we
Yeah,
are we're renting right now, and so I wasn't able to get my plants in the ground, and they take 2 years to fully mature to actually be able to like trim them. So I had a dilemma having them in pots that they would die in the Michigan winter. So I had to bring them inside and create like a grow room in the basement for them. And I lost quite a few. It was definitely a learning process. Um, I started out with 20 and I have 7 now. So I'm really excited to get them in the ground this summer. And I won't have to bring them into the basement because they are not light. They are not
yeah.
light. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry you lost so many of your plants.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you learn a lot when you have things go the way that you don't expect them. So
Yeah. So you and I talked about kind of like holistic healing, holistic medicine before.
right.
Um, you want to expound on that a little bit or talk about that? Like why
Um,
it's important for you with lavender?
well, I mean, for me personally, I have anxiety and depression. Um, not something that
Yeah.
it's something that I deal with pretty frequently. But I had tried like an antidepressant, and it really just didn't agree with me. It made me like physically ill. Like it was not good. And I just didn't really want to alter myself with drugs. Not that I think that people shouldn't take, antidepressant medicine if they need it and that's what they need, because I am not a,
Right.
medical expert. But I personally, for me, they didn't work out in the past. And so I actually like looked for alternative medicines. And I actually was going through a really tough time in my life, and I was a mess, like I was just a complete mess. And a friend of mine, she like made up a blend, and it included lavender and I think bergamot. I don't remember exactly what else was in it, but lavender was the one that really I just totally fell in love with. And she like gave me this little roller, and I would put it on my wrist. And then when I would get upset, like, or like just overwhelmed, I would just, like smell it, and it just really leveled me out.
Mhm.
And uh, you know it doesn't take away everything.
See, I got the competition.
Yeah.
I think that this doesn't have a roller; it's got a squeeze. But you would be doing products like that, right?
Right,
I
exactly
need
like
some.
that.
I need some of your product to put on the screen. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
no, that's okay. We're not at oils yet. We've only got 7 plants.
Yeah.
So another thing that I want to do this summer is there are varieties that are smaller, and they don't get, because lavender can get to be like 3 foot wide. It's a big plant, but there are different varieties that are more of like a dwarf size
Hmm.
that I would like to get a lot of for the Urban Lavender Project, because I think that being able to have it in your house is really important for people. I have houseplants all over the place, and they improve your air quality, and they also improve just your well-being. caring for something and watching it grow, it feels good.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've killed a lot of lavender plants trying to keep them inside. We've got some that come back. They'll
Mhm.
come back, right?
They come back, yeah.
After the
As long as as long as they don't get too cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll come back because they came back last
They
year.
should.
So
They should. Usually, if they're in the ground, they don't get too cold. Yeah.
yeah. So I guess I'm just a big fan of lavender is what I'm trying to say. You a few minutes ago you talked about some freelance work that you're doing. Do you want to
Yeah.
expound on that at all?
Yeah. So I actually, so with COVID and everything, I was working as a bartender, and my mom would take care of my son while I was at work, and I just really didn't want to. With COVID, I didn't want her to have to take care of him and put her at risk. So I quit my job, and I did an internship through Acadium. It's actually a really great program. And you make a profile, and then the business makes a profile, and excuse me. And then you kind of go through and you can find a business that you want to work with. And it's a 3-month internship, 10 hours a week. And they've got it for graphic design, social media marketing, digital marketing, SEO, like all that. So I worked with this lady, my mentor, Vicky Wu, the marketing guru, and she helped me learn a lot about, just scheduling and working on WordPress, and she actually aligned me up with my first client, and her name is LJ Rohan. We actually just launched a Vibrant Aging course that starts on March 1st. And so we're pretty excited about that. And then I have a couple other clients that I do social media for. I do video editing, I do graphic design, I do photo editing, newsletters. I do a little bit of everything.
So and I mean, that's kind of how you're paying the bills right now, and you're
Right.
putting away a little money to build your lavender house and your urban lavender project.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put if we could put a G in front of it, we could call it gulp or pulp. I always look for acronyms every time somebody. So hire Megan because she needs to get some money to build her other projects, right?
Yes.
Is there a way that we could put something out, like a website or something, or do they just find you on Facebook or?
Yeah, find me on Facebook. I'm working on a website right now, but it's just in the mix right now. We'll probably get that out in a month or two.
Okay.
So can I do a little plug for the One and All program?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm in the One and All program, and that's actually how I met Jerry. And we're just learning. We're learning a lot about. I feel like the biggest thing that I've learned is just the networking and kind of getting in touch with other people that know more than me about how to do this and how to build a business, and asking for help and putting it out there. And then when people give you feedback, taking it and going with it. But we've been working with the SBDC, the Small Business
Development Center.
Yeah. So that's been really great. So I'm hoping by the time that kind of wraps up around the end of March, I'll have my website ready to go, or within a few weeks after that. But I really want to get my brand all figured out and correct before I start launching things.
So what have we been, 3 or 4 weeks into the One and All program?
Yeah, 3 weeks, I believe.
Yeah, and you're doing really well in it, right? I mean, you're doing all the requirements, you're showing up to all the things. Do you? I know you listed out the networking and the feedback and all of that. How is it a positive experience? What's this gonna do for you?
I'm loving it. It's definitely like helping me come together on my business plan and figure out where I am. Because to start, I definitely had this giant plan of action here, and I was going to have 10 acres and a farm, by the end of March. So it's helped me to kind of like that's still the dream, but like kind of break it down into smaller stepping stones for me.
Yeah.
And that's been really big. So it's helping me put together my business plan. It's helping me figure out what direction I'm going to go for marketing, and like finding my demographic that I'm looking to target, and just connecting with a lot of people. So.
And that's about where we're at in the program. So
Yeah.
I'm glad it's helping across
Right.
the board with that.
Right. It's kind of like, it's really hard to put any type of like where you need to be at by the end of it, kind of requirement on it, because everybody's business is so different.
Yeah.
And, where one person might be at is totally different from somebody else. So.
Yeah. And you, in the one and all, there's a few of you that have really engaged with the Fledge. Some of you before the Fledge, and I mean before one and all started, but you're relatively new to us. You're taking advantage of everything, and I love that you're doing that. So, do you do a lot more with the SBDC than what's required by the program?
No. I mean, I've been meeting with my business consultant, but not so much more. I like how the Fledge is like in kind of like bouncing ideas off of other people, and that helps me, and like thinking more abstractly about things.
Yeah. So there's a plug for the Fledge. Thank you for that. So definitely come hang out with the Fledge if you want to talk about your business and your ideas and all that. But I was also trying to give a little plug for the SBDC, because
I do love the SBDC, and they've got the free business coaching. And Millie's been great. Millie Chu. She's really awesome.
And a lot of
the
videos.
Yeah, they've got
all
the videos. There are so many videos on the SBDC website. You like anything that you have a question about, you can just look it up right there, and they've got something. Piper and Gold has been really great with their how would you describe? They're a PR company?
They're a PR company and working on kind of the business, sales, and marketing side for the one and all cohort. And I don't know how the public engages with them outside of like hiring them right now. But SBDC, I wanted to point out, is free in almost every single thing that they do. And Piper and Gold is great. So when your business is up and running, hire Piper and Gold.
Yeah, they've been really great though.
So I want to just say, Kiana, she's saying that you're doing a really good job of networking, and happy that you're learning from the program and that you connected with her.
Yeah.
And then Carla is also saying that check out Der Happy Halloween at 1084 Hagedorn if you need gardening property for Lavender. Oh, I know what she's talking about. I can connect you with Carla, but we'll talk because it might not meet your urban requirement. But I'll connect you with Carla, and you two talk. All right. Yeah. So what's your mission? What would you say that you're trying to get done?
I would have to say promoting regular self-care, and accepting that mental health issues are something that aren't necessarily a problem, but that we should definitely be aware of them and like accept them. If you have a mental health issues, then there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has times when they're not feeling perfect,
Yeah.
And
I think that, someday I envision that we won't have to even say mental health, that it'll just be, you have this health issue, and maybe it's a scab on your arm, or maybe it's your brain needs to take a break, or maybe you need, to talk about something to get it, resolved
Right.
in your mind. Just like we might scratch or bandage or rub a sore muscle, we should do
Right.
that with our brain and the
Right.
rest of our mentality.
Right. Well, I mean, no matter what we do, there's always going to be traumas in our life, and it just kind of depends on the person, like how they react to it. And there's,
Yeah.
I mean, everything can be traumatic.
So, is there something you do every damn day to push that forward?
I just, hit my business and go at it. And I try to spend at least 2 hours on my business every day. That's what I do every day.
Is that difficult with, like if I had I've got to come to the Fledge every day, right? I got chickens, I got fish, I got a cat, I've got meetings, I've got all these things.
I didn't know you had chickens.
Yeah. I should have showed them to you.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to get up and get motivated and come do my chores and my things. When you're just starting a business and it's kind of in your house and you don't have somewhere to go, and Jerry Springer's on. No, I don't know. I don't know what's on TV during the day anymore.
Yeah.
Or any time for that matter.
Right. Honestly, that's another reason I'm going to plug the Fledge again. I love the 9 a.m. meetings. That's really been nice to kind of get up and really get thinking about my business right away. But no, I'm really eager to do all this. So I want to do the Lavender stuff more than I want to do some of my other freelance stuff. So sometimes I kind of have a harder time getting back over to the freelance stuff, because I just want a Lavender house 24/7, but gotta make it too.
That's exciting though, to be working on that dream and to feel traction right now.
Yeah.
Like with where you're at, you got in one and all, you've got some other things happening.
Doing things, yeah.
All right. That's got to be really super exciting.
Yeah.
So don't ever forget. I was talking to a guy this morning about he forgets to celebrate his small wins. Don't forget to celebrate along this path, because this is like early childhood, right? You can't miss the early years.
Right.
So take the photos.
I like rewarding myself. So I take a bath bomb and go take a bath,
Yeah.
Positive self-care,
So we daisy chain the shows together. And yesterday on the show, we had Ford Fairlane. He chose his own name when he got out of prison. So he was in prison for 27 years. And he is trying to establish a Guinness World Record of having pen pals with the most prisoners in the state of Michigan. But he's a little restricted from writing these letters because he can't communicate with other prisoners until he's off parole.
Oh.
So his question to you, and it puts you on the spot, but would you be willing to commit to write a letter to a prisoner just so that they know that there's people outside of the walls that think about prisoners need a better life than what they get, or something like that? You can write whatever you want.
Yeah, I definitely would do that. I've never, I don't know where to get that information. So,
well, Ford sent me all the links. I committed. He made me commit yesterday. He's a very persistent person.
Good. That's the way to do it.
So I'm going to write one too. So I'm going to figure out all the links and how you actually identify who you want to write to. Or he sent them all to me. So I've got all that information. I'll send them to you too.
That's awesome.
And thank you on behalf of him for agreeing to do that. So he's got two. Now he needs 20.
I'll share it too.
29,998 more. So
you just got to keep going.
Rivers are made by drops of water.
Yeah.
So tomorrow on the show, we have Amy Zander. Amy does some marketing. She's going to talk about what she does in her marketing company and social media and all of that stuff. What question would you like me to pass to Amy?
So I would like to know more about how she feels about like the psychological connection that she develops with her target market.
Do you think that I really love this question because do people think about the psychological connection that they're making with whoever's on the other side of what this screen, this
Right.
line, this internet
Right, because
tunnel?
it's people that we're marketing to, not just a group of computers, you know.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what do you think about that? Because you do some marketing, plus you've got to do a lot for you do some freelance marketing and you've got to market yourself, you've got to pitch and all that stuff.
Right.
Um, what what do you think about the psychological connection that you're
Um,
making through that?
yeah, so this was actually one of the reasons I got my degree in psychology, my associates in psychology. And so I think it all, like thinking about how people think about what they're looking at is really cool to me. It's just like analytical and like if they see this, what will they think when they see it? And doing the little details that make trigger something in their mind. So yeah.
I I wonder, you see, when you're making me kind of dissect, like I take whatever my last post was, it was actually about you and this show.
Mhm.
Um, and I tagged one and all in it and all of that. But I don't think now you've got me imagining a numb reading the post.
Great.
What did she
Yeah.
think? Or somebody, there's probably people out there, what the hell's one and all?
Right.
And why is he doing that? And is he
Yeah.
Zorro or something? Or Three Musketeers, one for all and all for one.
Great. Great.
Um, so yeah, that's now you're making me insecure. Maybe my posts aren't good enough.
Don't think so much. Um, yeah.
You're the
No.
one that made it.
Yeah. So with this course that I've been working on, it's like there's so many steps to get them to the course, and thinking about how they interact with each little piece of it, there's a
Yeah.
lot to it. Every little step, you've got to keep them going, keep them moving, keep them wanting to like find out what's at the very end there. And so
What we assume and what works for us is that we have a story to tell. We do so many different things that I can take a picture of the chickens one day and text something the other day. And I think I just use brute force and variety to get
you're
through.
gonna take it. You were gonna learn about the pledge today.
Yeah. So what as we start to kind of wrap up, and what would you like to take us out with? What's something you want to make sure that we definitely promote the Lavender House and the
Definitely.
Lavender House Michigan or mi.com?
Yes.
Both the links, your Facebook and the website are in there. Is there anything you want to promote or tell
Um,
us?
just don't be too hard on yourself today. That's all. Like, just keep going. Nothing is gonna be too bad.
And there is nothing I could say to improve that. So stay tuned every day, every damn day at 2 p.m. for other episodes. And tomorrow we'll have Amy Zander. And I do want to shout out your episode 162. So we're getting there. The goal is 365. So
All right.
thank you so much. And everyone, we will see you later. Have a great rest of your
See
Sunday.
you later.
Thank you.